the shadows they wander alone. Old ruins where fears have grown. Zombies watch from ancient stone. Whispers chill right to the bone. Gothic castles rise in the night. Gory entrails glide out of sight. Wolves howling under pale moonlight. Darkness creeps and grabs too tight. You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from this EuroCrypt. Argento and more. Black love killers and goblins score. Vampires hunt their nightly feast. Lurking monsters are released. But beyond scream in a sepia dream. Melancholy miles downstream. No one's safe, or so it seems. Worlds unravel at the seams. You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from this EuroCrypt.
All right, man.
Hey, what's happening?
We're right back at it, man. Shit. It's been a minute.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Yes,
break.
we've been off 2 weeks. We didn't do nothing on our channel. But we're back on the EuroCrypt, right on time, right on schedule.
Just about. For once, we're just about on time.
Yeah. We're like a minute late, I think. But
Yeah.
But yeah, man, today we're gonna be discussing 3 modern gialli that are like pretty much tipping the hat to the old, big homage films. 3 very different films too. Like, so you get
They are, yeah.
a good mix of the first one's this one, Barbarian Sound Studio. So this one focuses more on sound design of the 70s, the old analog sound studio. And then the next one, I don't own a copy, but the creators that made this one here, the second one's The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears. There you go. Darren's got it. And then the third one is
you've got
VideoMan, or VHS is Dead as well.
Yeah.
I think it's called VideoMan, VHS is Dead. But a bunch of, like, any kind of fan of the genre of obscure classic cult, not just giallo, I'd say for that one. It's more everything cult film, right? I'd say. Yeah,
I'd say with that one, to get anything out of it, which we'll come on to, I think you've got to be a kind of a giallo fan to get every, because otherwise the references you're going to miss, and
you're not going to get all the references. Yeah, definitely.
No, and I think that's what holds the film together for me, is the fact that it is a love letter to the giallo film. But these films are all different, wildly different and this one, the first one we're going to come on to in a bit, I'd only ever seen 20 minutes of it before, and it didn't really take me, but
it's
this
a slow burn.
I liked it this time. That's a spoiler to come, but
yeah, it's a slow burn for sure. I mean, I've watched it twice, but the first time was a little kind of tough to get through a little bit, but
it is, yeah.
But once you start going back and checking it out again, you start seeing things a little different. It's like, well, anyway, I don't want to spoil anything.
So. No, it's very ambiguous toward the end as well.
They're all 3. Well, yeah, kind of. In a way, VideoMan's probably the most straightforward of the 3.
But it does have its moments, though, with
It
green
does.
sequences and-
Because you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? But you know,
Oh yeah.
let me see who's in here, man. We got a few
Yeah.
people watching us. What's going on? We got Corey in here, Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's up? What's going
Hey,
on?
what's up, Corey?
Good to see you in here, man. You got Gory Tiger. What's up? What's happening?
Hey,
man?
what's up, man?
And hello to the panel of pain from Mr.
Hey,
Texas himself.
Yeah,
happening,
what's
man?
happening, Tex? Hope things are all good with you, man.
Yeah, hopefully everything's going good for everybody on this Sunday evening, getting ready for the work week or getting ready for the next week. The times just keep flying, man. Like,
Oh
the time-
man,
yeah,
like I say, it's been 2 weeks. It's just gone so quick.
definitely.
But I'm excited to talk about these three tonight. There's going to be a lot of talking points in them. I don't think we're going to like spoil anything, really, are we? I don't know what
No,
you've got
we're not.
in mind with your clips. You know, you could definitely show some spoilers and just prepare.
I have 3 clips. I have 1 clip for each film, but I'm not showing spoilers, and and I don't think we need to spoil. But like at the same time, like if you wanted to jump in these films, like I don't know, I think kind of like you might not appreciate them as much, like if you haven't seen a lot of Giallo, you know.
I think so. I think, yeah, all 3. You're not going to, unless you're a Giallo fan, I doubt if you're going to enjoy any of them.
Right. You're going to be like, what the hell is that about? And, you know, but
yeah, definitely. I think they were done for Giallo fans pretty much.
And Tex says he's doing good. Good deal, man.
Hey, good. That's good to hear, man.
Oh yeah. Well, man, how you want to crank this off? You want to just jump into the thing? You want me to show a clip for the first one? Barbarian Sound Studio.
Yeah, give people a taste of it. Yeah, sure.
Kind of show you a little bit of what's going on. You know, like the way I put it together. There's no spoiler. I don't think you can spoil that film anyway. Really.
No, I don't think you can. No.
Definitely can't spoil A Strange Color. Shit. But
oh shit, we'll come into that, man.
Right. But yeah, man, if appreciate everybody that's watching, man. If you're watching in the future and you're watching now, you know, do the thing. And I guess before we get this thing cranked off, I have an important message for everybody. All right. So here we go. Yeah. All right.
That scene is bizarre, man. when I first started watching that, there's a few actually scenes in it. Like I don't think they're meant to be funny, but they just are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
I can't help but think that shit's supposed to be funny, but I don't know.
Well, there's one scene I'm going to mention in a bit when we talk about the film that I was like rolling around laughing, like so. Oh man.
Yeah.
I might as well tell you now. It's the scene with the grape. And he feeds him this grape.
Oh yeah,
it's so fucking awkward. Like
we got the caveman in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guy?
Hell yeah, good to see you in here, man. But yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. I'm gonna go ahead and show the clip for this one before we get to talking about it. So here we go. It's like 2 minutes. So here we go.
Anima di Cristo, santificami col sangue di Cristo. Hold it still. It's not gonna burn you. Try to be more deliberate.
Padre, tutta la terra ti adora. A te cantano gli angeli e le potenze dei della tua gloria. Ti acclama il coro degli apostoli.
All right. And I imagine everybody's like, what in the absolute fuck is happening?
I know, yeah. I would imagine people are going to be like that for most of these films. Well, certainly two of them.
Right.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy like that.
Yeah, this one here is like a take in the 70s. It's basically focusing on Italian cinema sound design. So, like, we don't see the actual film that this guy, I can't believe I didn't put his, so we don't see the actual film, but this guy's a sound engineer. And they bring him in. So a reserve sound engineer from Dorking, England, is hired to do a sound mix on a movie about horses, but soon realizes it's a gothic horror giallo called The Equestrian Vortex. Far from the gentle documentaries he's used to, he's told to create sounds of brutal torture and murder using vegetables for stabbing sounds and broken limbs for the film, while obsessively immersed to the state of madness. The deeper he immerses himself, lines between reality and the film are merged into one.
Yeah, that's pretty much like, think along the same lines, I would say, as John Travolta in Blowout. He's kind of the same engineer guy. Yeah, it must have been like an influence, I was thinking, the Brian De Palma film on this one for sure.
Right. And the director is Peter Strickland. He's a British filmmaker, but he's half English and half Greek, is what he says. But so he made a short film of the same name, and then I guess decided to make a feature. But this was his second film. His first film was Catalan Varga.
Right.
And a completely different film. Everything's outside. It's like got these like rural settings, I believe. I haven't seen the film, but I know a little bit about it. That was made in 2009. And then another film, In Fabric, which I haven't seen, that he did in 2018. I think that's a comedy horror, if I'm right. I believe it.
Yeah, I think it's got giallo elements, but I'm not sure. I did open it one night ready to watch, and I just didn't get around to it. I was kind of tired or whatever, but I'll definitely give it a go now after seeing this one.
I know one of the big inspirations, though, he said for this film was like he was looking at sound equipment, or the idea. He was looking at old analog sound equipment, and he was just like thinking, like, because everything's done on a laptop now. So why not? That was like the initial spark that sparked the idea or whatever. Because all that equipment that you see in this film there's still some of it's used, like, but it's all updated. Like, you can basically do everything with a laptop. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. Like, this was, you got to think about 50 years ago or 45 plus years ago. And yeah, like you say, when he mentions that they had to go around all different places to pick up all the equipment, and that was kind of a headache to get of it, obviously because everything's obsolete now. But it does, it gives you that vibe straight away. It feels authentic to me because they had to create like this studio inside a studio in England of all places as well. because I think they wanted to originally do the film in Hungary, and then they were going to do it in Italy, like where
Right.
it's staged in Rome.
With the economy in Hungary like just collapsed, right?
Right. Yeah.
So they ended up doing it in the UK,
London,
right?
yeah. Yeah, and in London. I think it's in Surrey in London, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it takes place in Italy. And so when he gets there, this guy's used to making like sweet, gentle documentary films, sound mixing for that kind of shit. But then they bring him into this brutal gothic giallo type film, like there's like witches and shit, and
it's almost like a Suspiria type film.
Right, that's what I get.
What you can gather.
Yeah.
But, is Suspiria a giallo? That'll come up later on in one of the films.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a nice little argument for that. It's been going on for between the fans forever, right?
And will continue to go on forever, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Toby Jones. He plays Gilderoy. And he's quite well known. I think he played Truman Capote in a film.
Great actor. Great actor.
Absolutely fucking outstanding in this role as well. I think I've seen him in The Girl, where he plays Alfred Hitchcock.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
I do think this is his best role from what I've seen, but I've only seen a few.
And you noticed his cover, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a straight takeoff of what, Four Flies, right?
It is, yeah. That's what they were going for. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. So I was like, yeah.
There's so many like little nods in this film to all these giallo films, but
we got Jimmy in here. Hey guys, glad to make it back. Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so the director is kind of like me and Dirk was watching the special features, and he's boring as hell, man.
He is, man. It is a slog. I hate to say that about somebody, but
I know if he's watching, like, no, I'm joking. I know he won't be watching, but
you never know, man. You never know. This isn't the internet, right?
Fucking sends you to sleep. That guy, just when he opens his mouth, like, it's so boring.
I mean, I watched the 32-minute special feature with him. It's like basically just going over everything, and that was, I was. But then when I got to the making of the film, I fell asleep.
God,
I fell asleep.
I tapped out of that interview with him, that 32-minute interview, after 5 minutes. But I did watch the whole of the making of, and all it is like these clips with these like really bad cuts. Like you get like literally they interview like a director of photography or like a set design or whatever it is, and they'll literally say one sentence and then bang, it's on to the next, and it's just fucking terrible. Like the worst making of documentary I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad. It's really.
I mean, anyone could do better on a fucking laptop like sat at home here now, and I don't even do video editing. It's terrible, man. Absolutely terrible.
Texas says Toby Jones has a part in Tom Hardy's series Mobland where he plays a corrupt cop. Check it out.
Okay. Because I heard he's really versatile in his performances, and he can play any type of performance.
And in this one, you can tell the character's real like introverted, right? Like he's real reserved,
Yeah, he's kind of timid, isn't he? He won't open his mouth. He kind of like he's the type people would just walk all over.
Right. You don't have really a backbone, and he's going into this he's going into Italy, and like right out the gate, there's this beautiful secretary, right?
Yeah.
But she's like the worst woman. Like, I don't know, you could just tell her whole demeanor. She didn't want to be bothered. And she looked at him like, just kind of looked through him in a way. Right.
They all do early on in the film. Like they just look at him as if he's not even there at times. But I do want to mention the one actor, right? So you got Cosimo Fusco. He plays Francesco Coraggio. And people might know him from The Card Player. He worked with Argento, but his main kind of thing he did was he was Rachel's boyfriend, I believe, in Friends. He did an amazing giallo film called Frenzy in Venice as well in 2021. It's kind of like a slasher. I fucking love that film.
Okay.
But that guy just reminds me. you could put him back in the 1970s and you could put him in like a Fabio Testi lead role or something.
He does.
And he would work absolutely perfectly. Like,
he does. He looks just
man.
like somebody from the old Giallo film.
Yeah. And he's got that kind of edginess to him as well, that like he would be brilliant in like a Lenzi type, you know, crime film or something.
Right.
Yeah. He's outstanding. I think they're the two main leads, I think. But all the acting, I think in this is superb. Even the small, you know, acting parts.
At first, you know, I was kind of like, what the hell is going on here? Because we don't never really see the film. Ever.
Right. We see the opening credits, don't we, at one point?
Yeah. But we hear what's happening. And we see him like stabbing lettuce to make it sound, and you hear women screaming and shit, like, and then he's like snapping like stalks of, you know, celery and shit to make it sound like limbs are breaking. So this is a brutal ass film, and he can't handle it almost, you know. He's like repulsed by it, you know.
Well, he's like a fish out of water, isn't he? So he turns up, you know, expecting to do all the same design on this film. And then he's got to contend with like the producer, who's like the biggest fucking asshole you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And you've got all the characters there, and you've got kind of like the main guy, the director. He comes in a little bit later, Santini, and he's like an asshole as well. He sexually abuses one of the women at one point, who works as a voice kind of actor. But yeah, straight from the start, you know, he's kind of finds it hard. He's pretty much gone over there. He's penniless, and he's trying to get his money back on his flight. And they're kind of like ropey on that. They won't give him an answer either way, whether he's going to get his money.
And I gotta laugh. That reminds me of like but Diodato, right? We've heard some things about Diodato.
Oh man, it's so true to life. Yeah. But I gotta laugh at the one scene where the actual like the producer actually sits down and tells him, he says, "You should be happy you're just here." Like, because people would do it for free. It's just the look on this fucking Gilderoy's face, like throughout the whole like first like hour of the film. Man, it is just so good. And he's just walked all fucking over. Like,
and then he's got it's weird because he gets these letters from home about these damn chickens, right?
Yeah,
these chickens and shit, and like, but then like it's almost like he's so immersed in the film, so he starts screwing up on purpose, like in his mind he's thinking like he's gonna save the actual woman that's in the film. He's gonna save her from like if he don't make the sound, then it's not, but it's still looping. Like, that's how immersed he's getting into the film. Like, so his
that's
his mind's kind of, you know,
as it goes on, like you say, it does blur into reality. You know, like there's dream sequences and there's all kinds of shit going on. But yeah, you know what I do love about this film is, and Dirk's bound to have picked up on this, but the score is so similar to Nicola Piovani's score to Leon. Footprints on the Moon, and you can't miss it. Like it's just almost the same, and then it kind of goes a little bit different toward the end of the tune. But I love that shit.
The band Broadcast is the band like did the score, right? It's like psychedelic electronica keyboards with guitar, and you know, so they made three albums. Noise Made by People in 2000, Ha Ha Sound in 2003, and Tender Buttons 2005.
Oh, okay.
So
they were known for like genre films as well. I think they maybe done like horror films in the past too as well.
I was reading too, like that they started in 95. So, and they started in I want to say Birmingham.
Yeah. West Midlands, yeah, in England, yeah.
Okay.
The one woman who did work on the same track is called Trish Keenan, and she unfortunately died on the 14th of January 2011. So So she must have done this film, you know, before, literally died before it came out. She was just 42 years of age, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like the storyline, there's not much to it, because
Yeah.
what he's trying to do, like you say, they're making this Suspiria type film. You've got Sylvia, she's one of the voice kind of actresses. And she kind of befriends him at one point because he literally can't speak a word of Italian. And like all the way through the film, like they're talking Italian behind his back and he's not knowing what they're saying. You can see the puzzled look on his face to make him even more kind of disorientated with what's going on. His only kind of cling to reality is that those letters from his mother, like Dirk just mentioned. Apart from that, he's really got nothing and no one else.
Yeah, he's like trapped in this studio, like
yeah,
like a prison
with this complete fucking asshole of a producer, everyone, and the director, everyone kind of in the, apart from like Sylvia and a couple of the voiceover women, are complete fucking assholes to him. The secretary won't give him a time of day. She won't even look at him at one point. And he just kind of just carries on like as if nothing, you know, he's there the next day and he's just doing his job. And but he just keeps getting beaten down by his fucking producer and director for the whole film. So where I was thinking at one point he's just gonna absolutely like flip and maybe kill a lot of them.
I was thinking the same. Yeah, I was thinking the same. I know. So like the big one of the big themes on the film is the culture clash, right?
Yeah.
You definitely see that what we're talking about. But then, so he was. So the director said he was influenced by the editing of, I can't really pronounce the name. It's EuroCrypt, hers, and it's a film called The Cremator in 1969.
Oh, okay, I know you know that one.
Yeah, it's basically he was inspired by the editing of that film, the way this film's edited. He kind of took from that a little bit.
Okay.
But regardless if it's, regardless if it's bullshit or whatever, this film definitely is thought provoking. I would say, like,
it is. Yeah, definitely. It's gonna make you think. It's not one you can just put on in the background. You've got to take, like every detail in the film is superb. Like they don't leave nothing.
I wouldn't say that this is a horror film. It kind of goes in line with it, adjacent though, because like we're not actually seeing gore, but we're hearing it. We're hearing things, and then like they bring in all these vegetables, and when they're done with the vegetables, they're all rotten and shit. So I guess that would be like the gore, like that we get is the rotten ass vegetables and shit. You know what I mean? Like
it's more of a psychological thriller, I would say, than a horror film. But I can see there's horror elements. I think, again, I think you really need to be not so much as the other films, but I think you do need to be into Giallo to like kind of get everything out of this one as well. But more so in the next two that we're going to mention. So this woman Sylvia, there's a scene where she's recreating a scream for the film, and it's completely lifted from Blowout. Like I mentioned earlier, it's completely lifted from that. But the way it's done, I think, is really kind of good because they recreate her again later on with another actress who comes in. And I won't give away the reason why there's someone else that comes in, but that's kind of interesting too. There's fucking all kinds of shit going on behind the scenes in this one with that crazy ass freaking director.
Okay, we got let's see, we got Brody Stevenson. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Never heard of that name before, but good to have you on board, man.
Yeah, good to have you here. And then we got Nicholas C. Day. He says, I love Barbarian Sound Studio. Was lucky enough to see it in a theater and even got to speak with the director. Fantastic soundtrack. Awesome.
It is, man. Yeah. It would have been I think I liked it anyway, but I'd like even more if I seen it on the big screen. Because you've got to have the sound coming out of the speakers and man. And even the visuals would look great on I can imagine. Right. So well jealous of that, man.
When you, I mean, what's your opinion on? I was thinking about this when I was watching it too, though. Do you think that this is like maybe a take on the BBC as well? Like, you know how like with the video nasties and everything, like
Yeah.
maybe a take on people that watch these kind of films, like they something bad happens, like
I
you know
think
what I mean?
so. Yeah, I think like the on-screen violence as well. Even like,
Right.
it's implied a lot. We don't really see anything too bad, like you said, blood-wise or anything. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of different hidden meanings. I think with this one, you kind of go in and make your own mind up.
Right.
And it's divisive as well. I'd say I think people are going to love it or hate it. I
I
don't think
think
there's going to be many in between.
if you're expecting like a gore fest, I don't. Yeah, it's the wrong film. But if you're, you know, you're into the technical aspects of filmmaking and like, I don't even think you have to know that much. Just if you're really like into that kind of shit, and then all the tropes and references of the old Giallo, you know.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that's what makes the film for me. Is the fact that it's set in the 1970s. They're
right.
making a pretty much a Giallo film, and just that alone, I think would hook
And the
people
fish out
in
of
straight
water
away.
element, like in so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
Gialli, right? So
yeah,
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
foreigner coming to Italy, and you know what I
exactly.
mean?
But in like reverse cut type thing for this.
Yeah.
I think I actually do think all the fucking lead actors in this are outstanding. For a second film from a director, I think it's pretty good, like effort, you know.
Said it
Um,
took 12 weeks of sound mixing for this film,
okay, yeah, I can believe that as well.
because that's the emphasis is the
Because
sound
it is
design.
all on sound, isn't it? Rather than visuals, because we don't see that many visuals really.
That's what's unique about
Um,
this one. I think
mm.
that's like that. I appreciate it more for that reason.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah. And we're not going to give anything away in terms of the ending, but I don't really. It's hard to like. You can't even like.
There's nothing to give away,
There's
really.
nothing to give away. You
You don't
kind
know
of
what happens. So
no. I was scratching my head a little bit. I will say that with the ending, but then when I watched it the second time, I kind of knew what I was in for, and it kind of works. I think to leave it
yeah.
like that. It's we can say enough to say like it's open ended, really.
I know I saw a couple of things where like some people thought that it was being stereotypical to Italians, their treatment of women and all that type of stuff. But
I can see that, yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know.
I can definitely see that, but I guess like because he goes through this transformation as the film goes on without giving too much away. Like that Sylvia, I think she does a speech to him, then she's like, why are you letting people walk all over you? Like you need to like fucking tell them straight, you want your money, you want this. And then we got that scene where he just goes off on them, doesn't he? And he fucking
he does.
demands his money.
He finally
and
grows a pair, don't he?
yeah.
So.
Yeah. But there's comedic elements in this as well. Like I was gonna make, like I mentioned earlier at the Dirk, there's a scene where the fucking director feeds him this grape, and you've just got to see it, man. It's so awkward that like I was just rolling around laughing when I seen that first time. And even the second time, it still holds up. It still makes me laugh. But there's hidden bits of comedy in there.
Yeah,
but it's like dark comedy.
definitely.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I really like this one. I
do too.
am gonna bit of a spoiler, but this was my favorite out the three tonight. I see Lorne's just got a message.
Yeah, we got Nicholas too, though. He says,
okay,
I think you hit a nail on the head with the Video Nasties reference. I remember Strickland talking about the power of violent images and how he wanted to subvert that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that.
I think so, man. And then the guy being, from England as well. So
yeah, it's the British Institute had something to do with the filmmaking as well. Because I know they Fright Fest in London as well. They do this big festival. I think it was premiered there too in 2012 in August. So yeah,
we got Lauren in here, man. Visited by Voice of the Network. He says modern Giallo all have a major hurdle language and acting has evolved since the late 60s, 70s. People just don't present the same. Recapturing the aesthetic without resorting to parody is hard. Yeah.
It really is, and we're going to find that out. I think, in all
I
three
mean,
films,
none of these can match the old aesthetic, but I do appreciate the love. I mean, you see the love from these people.
That's the main thing to draw, out of these is the love and the passion that comes out of it. But in terms of, like Lorne said, it's almost
there's
impossible.
no way to recapture that.
No. I mean, if you want to say something like Dress to Kill, I think gives it a good go to recapture. I know that wasn't a big time difference, really.
No,
1980, but something like that, I would say, gives it as close as you can.
right.
And you've got American Gialli as well that come out similar, around the late 70s.
But he's right. Like, so that one, is it Maniac Driver? I think.
Oh, that's the Hong Kong one, yeah.
So, is it?
I think it's Hong Kong, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, okay, I'm not sure.
I know it's like an Asian country.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, you see what they're going for, but it's still doesn't, they can't get it, they can't get that same time frame.
I know you're probably going to disagree with me, but there's one in 1978, The Eyes of Laura Mars. I think that gives it a good go to capture.
I'm not a fan of that one. I know people.
I know. I'm surprised.
I know a lot of people like that movie, but it's very predictable. It was for me anyway. But I don't
know. I love that film. John Carpenter wrote that as well. But
Jimmy says, I know it's not really part of the discussion in terms of modern Giallo films, but I couldn't believe that Alice Sweet Alice wasn't an Italian Giallo.
It is.
Yeah.
I class it as probably the best. Well, it is the best.
It's not an Italian Giallo, but yeah. But
I think Dress to Kill comes close, but I would say Alice Sweet Alice, which we did do a video going back a while back. If you want to check that out. Alice Sweet Alice, you can't help but think of Don't Look Now, and do you know what I mean? And then you got Phenomena, which we've done recently, which is kind of like with them two films as well.
Right. And Nicholas says British Independent Awards gave Barbarian Sound Studio a ton of awards. It beat Sightseers for best film.
Yeah, awesome. It did. Yeah. Toby Jones won awards as well for his performance. So crazy.
He says 7 felt like a stab at American Giallo. But he's laughing.
I can see that. I can see it kind of like Basic Instinct you got as well. I'm guessing you could call
There's
that.
Definitely that opening kill for sure.
Yeah, the ice pick kill is amazing. Yeah. There's a few. Not so much recently though, like you just said. I do like we'll mention on the next film, but I do like Amir a lot. I think that kind of the Neon Demon is another one. I do although they don't fully capture the essence of a Giallo, they're close, I would say.
I haven't seen Amir, but I have seen the next one we're going to talk about, and holy shit, visually, I know that a lot of it's really new techniques, and but man, it's dripping with Giallo to me. I mean,
that's gonna be an interesting discussion, that one, and because you like that one, I know, because you told me you will love Amir. Okay. Honestly, I think you'll love Amir.
Chris says, even in all, you gents look great in those shirts, rocking it. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah. And then we got Lawrence. I've always considered Bloodlink 83 as what the Giallo should have mutated into.
That's Alberto Di Martino. I've always wanted to see that, never got around to it.
I haven't seen it.
But I will definitely check that out. Now Lawrence mentioned it again.
Let's see. Amir is great. Okay.
It is.
I have to give it a go. Helene Catet and Bruno Forzani are insanely talented visual. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, we're going to mention them, in the next one. But they're married. They were a married couple as well, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, man. I had actually seen this one first. The Let the Corpses Tan.
I want to see that one. I've never bought it though.
But they've done quite a few together. I guess, is there anything you wanted to add to the Barbarian Sound Studio before we move on? So
I'm just looking at my notes now. Yeah, only to say that, on about that hour mark of the film, it completely takes a different turn of direction, and I really enjoyed that part. And that's all we'll go into. We won't say too much after that. But no, man, I think it's a solid, very solid, like second film for a director.
I think so. I haven't seen the first one, but
yeah, I don't know whether it will it's not something you want to throw on.
You're not going to watch that
every year or two.
Yeah, you're not going to watch that every 6 months, you say, right?
No.
But one thing I'll say that the director did mention, though, like he said that that the Italian scores were like avant-garde, high art composers.
Yeah.
And like they would do these Giallo films, that were like very low. A lot of them were low budget, but they have these amazing, beautiful scores. So that was another emphasis on making this film as well.
And I think he mentioned, I think referring to Morricone as well, was this big, fucking huge kind of, and then he was just doing really low budget, like you say. There's films like
so in a way
on the Moon.
In a way, you can emulate the sound, I think, more than you can the visual.
Yeah, I still come away when I see some of these, like Who Saw Her Die and some of the lesser known Giallos in the 70s, and you hear the same tracks, and I'm like, fuck me, man, it doesn't get any better. And then Goblin obviously took it to the next level.
I think this score, though, like if you played it like and didn't know nothing about it, you'd
love it. I think, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the sound, that's maybe why he went for this angle more so versus the visual. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know completely. Yeah. The title of the film, Barbarian Sound Studio, so that references Kathy Berberian, the American soprano singer. She was married to composer Luciano Berio, a pioneer in like electronic music. That was kind of interesting. It's shot in like 35mm, which I was surprised. And there is a scene like where the UFO scenes become quite famous, where he does the sound of a UFO just using a light bulb, and
that is pretty damn.
Seeing that is fucking cool as fuck.
It is cool as hell. Yeah.
And
they're all like enamored because the power went out and shit, right?
They actually shot that, I think, with candlelight. Just to get it, authentic looking, and it does. It is a great scene.
I would say all people, fans of the genre, definitely need to check this one out, though. I would say.
I do, yeah. And hopefully this is going to be as good, or maybe even better. But
yeah, it makes me want to dig into some of his other stuff for sure.
We're definitely doing Fabric at one stage if you want.
There's another one, a short film that got really high praise that he did, called Forgotten, and he did that in 2021, and it's about human trafficking. So I'm kind of interested to see that one. But
okay.
It got high praise. It's like, I think it's like almost a 10 on IMDb. Like, I was like, holy shit. But
has he done anything apart from more recently than that? Because I'm surprised that he didn't go on to like really big things after this.
He did another one called The Duke of Burgundy.
That one's supposed to be good.
In 2014.
Yeah, that's like 2 years later. And that one I hear, even though it's not a horror film or anything like that, but it's kind of got touches of Giallo. There's kind of Giallo nods even in that one. So that's another one we could do at one point.
Let's see. Let the Corpses Tan is insane. It is, man. It's like a Western, but it's got the Giallo vibe as well mixed with it, and it's set in the desert, and like there's it's surreal. Like those we'll get into it here in a second. Chris says the Neon Demon is very good to me. What did you do to her? We ate her. Yeah,
that film's amazing. I think we need to do that as well at some point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that film too.
Oh, I love that.
Panel of
film.
Pain, we got Justin Marino in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
And we got Nicholas Day, Stelvio Cipriani made some bombs. Yeah, he did.
Very
Absolutely.
underrated composer. Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
underrated. Yeah. Just got Splintered Visions in the book on Fulci. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That book's amazing, man. That'll take you a bit of time to read that.
The band broadcast basically apes Stelvio Cipriani for Barbarian Sound Studio.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely got that type of like sound.
Duke of Burgundy is intense, gents. Totally worth a watch. Okay. Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to dig into some of his other stuff because really appreciate this one. It took me a couple watches though. Maybe in a theater, I would have just been like, it'd have been a totally different
I tapped
experience.
out after 20 minutes the first time I watched this, and I'd say it was less than a year ago.
Right.
But because I knew we were doing it, and we were going to review it and everything, I just give it my whole
There's a good bit of special
100%
features.
focus.
Yeah, there's a good bit of special features on here. If anybody's interested, this is
there is, but they don't seem to tell you a lot.
Who put this out, Darren? You got the DVD, right? Let's see. I
think it's probably the same, just the DVD version of what you got.
Arto. I don't know.
Man, my eyes. I can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you my eyes are terrible. But Fright Fest winner in London, it was.
That's right. Yeah, Yeah, so okay. There's another film that debuted at Fright Fest, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're getting on to the next one, and this is a wild film, man. I really, really love this movie, man. Like the first time I seen it, I was just like, the strange color, right, of your body's tears.
Yeah.
And this is pretty damn good. Like, you see all the tropes and references and everything in that one. So look, I kind of put this together. I don't know how good that looks. It looked a lot better when I was making it, but now it kind of looks a little washed
it
out.
looks trippy, man.
Yeah. So like
it's the film, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, here we go. I'm gonna play a clip of it. This one's a little longer, so y'all bear with us. If you don't want to watch the clip, just come back in about 3 minutes. But we're going to do a clip and then we'll get into the film. Yeah, man.
Man, this one could divide people, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I've heard some bad things, but you know, I don't care. Like, man, I like what I like, right? So
I watched it the first time a couple of weeks ago, and I was like completely down the middle. I didn't like it, didn't hate it. I went
yeah,
back over the weekend, watched it again, and I kind of slightly warmed to it a bit more now.
right.
It's the equivalent of kind of like eating magic mushrooms and watching a Giallo film at the same time. It's completely crazy. It doesn't hold up either. Like it just goes for it from the start, and it just keeps on going, like getting even more weirder, and like the way it goes on. The soundtrack is amazing, I gotta say. Like
Yeah,
all the old songs from the Giallo films of the 70s.
yeah,
So Sweet, So Perverse, the song come on for that, and I'm like, yeah, that's my thing, man.
right.
But yeah, I don't know if you want to. We kind of talked about the directors a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, well,
Um,
it's you know, Helene Catet and Bruno Forzani, and they're from Belgium, I believe, right? Brussels.
yeah, Brussels in
Uh,
Belgium, yeah.
husband and wife from Brussels, Belgium, and this premiered at the Locarno Film Festival in 2013. Got a theatrical release in Belgium, France, and Luxembourg. Got a limited U.S. release at the from Strand releasing in 2014. Um, but yeah, they've done other films. Amir back in 2009. Let the Corpses Tan, which I just showed a minute ago. They did that in 2017. Reflection in a Dead Diamond, which I haven't seen that, but
Oh, that sounds
and
interesting.
that's I think 2025. They just did that, and they got one to be announced. Don't know when it's coming out, but it's an animated film called Darlin', so that'll be interesting. Uh, but yeah, these are like what I get from it. You know, there is kind of like the movie starts out. There is kind of a narrative to begin with.
Oh yeah,
There's a
but yeah,
husband coming home. He's coming home he's a businessman. Um, Dan is his name. Dan is returning home, finds his wife, Edwidge, of all people. She's missing in this
right.
apartment building. And this old, like, very Italian looking apartment building, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything's just lush. All the background settings and, uh, you know, the set designs is just dripping Italian cinema. So,
But he's in the film. He's got like a really good job, hasn't he? He's like a wealthy. His wife doesn't have to work or anything like that.
right.
And
Mhm.
he comes from like a wealthy background or what have you.
So
Um,
he begins like he can't find his wife or whatever. So he starts questioning all the other residents of the apartment, and then he starts to learn their secrets. And then that's when the film turns into something else, and it's like,
oh man, there's
it's
like
just,
S&M fucking references.
yeah,
Giallo film, like the violence as well, like you've seen in those clips.
yeah,
With ladies'
and
body
it's
parts.
crazy. Like
Oh man,
everything's discombobulated, right? Like but
yeah.
I appreciate it for that. I feel like in a way, it's almost like these people. To me, this is how kind of my interpretation of the film is like these people are like he's just now discovering Giallo or something. and it's like entering his core of his body. That's
Right.
how I kind of interpreted the film. And then like you're looking through this, there's one part where they're flipping through a photo album, right? All
Yeah.
these different women, but it's weird. It's got like this spider web kind of thing over each picture. So it's like there's things to play with your mind throughout. You're questioning every damn thing, and I love that shit. It's
You
very
just don't know from scene to scene, right? You
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of all done in flashbacks and dreams.
nightmares, surreal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to work out which is which, and that's kind of what got me kind of disorientated the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
It's very arty, you know. It's
It's a
impromptu.
sensory. I would say this is it's an experience. It's a sensory overload, is what I would say about this
It's
film. Like,
fucking too much, I think, for me. Like it
Okay.
goes too arty. But I was gonna say
Right.
it. Even though that narrative is there, he's trying to find his wife, and he talks to all these like members of living in this apartment building. It does go kind of incoherent at times. It really does.
oh
Like
yeah,
certainly towards the end, I'm like, what the fuck's going on, man? I've seen
and
it
it's
a couple
almost
of
like
times.
the character changes too, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
there's an inspector that's in the film as well, and it switches back and forth from the inspector to Dan. But he's investigating too, so you're like, but yeah, it does like some really cool still shot slow cap. I don't really know what you call that, but I don't know how many lenses are used in this film. And like they're using like gels and they're using all these old tricks from like Mario Bava, I would say, and a mixture of Argento, mixture of probably all of them. But
It
then
is,
also
yeah.
with brand new techniques as well. You know?
I think they did over 400 shots just for this film alone, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy. We have got like, so that kind of goes from color to black and white at times. And we do see in the opening scene, pretty much, we do see the Black Glove Killer, and there's
Yeah.
a great scene where he's literally slashing up his first victim. So I love all that part, as you know.
Yeah, you see a knife rub over a chick's nipple, and like
and it's kind of it's told to you in a way that they get cut off as well, because even though they don't show it, you can hear it.
yeah, their eyes. You see that big eye just cover the
Yeah.
screen, and then like also like the one scene I was kind of briefly showing where you see like these multiple black gloves all over this one chick, and it's black and white, right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, like it's almost like the Giallo has entered her essence, you know.
It is, yeah.
Because when you watch that scene, and I've seen that scene several times, it's like that she's being chased. There's also like a reference to Nightmare on Elm Street. Did you catch that?
No.
You
Oh,
didn't catch it?
with the walls, where the
Yeah, where she's laying on the bed.
yeah, I did,
It's the same shot. She's laying on the bed. You see her eyes. You see her hair's kind of like everywhere, and then you see like the black glove killer just comes out of nothing, and then chasing her through the wall, and then the wall's breathing like nightmare and shit. But
yeah. I think
maybe that's a
catch
stretch,
that.
but I don't know.
No, I can see that for sure.
But in a way, I was kind of
Um,
interpreting it like maybe because Freddy wears a fedora. Maybe it was saying that Wes Craven took the fedora from the Giallo.
It's possible.
There's so many. I know I'm kind of going all over the place now, but I don't know.
But it's so crazy because like you guess because the detective early on thinks that he's probably killed his wife. But then he goes knocking on. We see all these different characters. You've got like the bearded man. You've got like the strange woman, the shadowy woman, and it all centers around like a character called Laura towards the end of the film as well. And the number 7 comes to play.
And the number 7 is also an L.
Yeah. Well,
For
yeah,
Laura.
because
For
it
Laura.
was shown upside down, isn't it, at one point?
And also you get does Dan have like a childhood trauma that happened to him? Because you see this boy at one point, he's looking at this girl, this older teenage girl, I think, and she's like got blood coming from her thigh,
Mm.
but you don't really know what that's all about. when he goes through the door and all that, like. But Lauren's got a good point. He says, imagine if Natural Born Killers era Oliver Stone made a Giallo, it would be like this, except coherent.
Yeah,
but
well.
I do appreciate that this one. I'm glad that it's not. I'm glad that it's kind of like create your own narrative. Like I don't know.
It's completely crazy, and I'll just put it into context how crazy this film is. There's a scene with this guy, with this man, and he's with his wife, I believe.
Yeah.
And he starts pretty much drawing a hole in the ceiling. And then he got it's so weird. And he ends up going up in the ceiling where he's being tortured by the killer. Right. And she's looking up through this hole. And I mean, I'm not doing the scene any justice by the way I'm saying it, but it's so far out, man. I'm like, shit.
There's one
and then
scene.
She's listening to his fucking heartbeat as he goes across
right. There's one scene that reminded me of House with the Laughing Windows, though. Like, it's just like little clips from all these different Giallo films,
Oh, yeah. Well, correct, man. There's Haste by the Cemetery, Kill at the start
very end.
Yeah, right at the end of this one.
And Nicholas says Strange Color is probably the best Giallo riff in modern movies. And from what I've seen, I think it captures it definitely captures at least the love and passion.
I just wish it was a bit more coherent, a bit slowed down in places, because it's just 100 miles an hour all the way.
It is
all the way through. It
definitely is.
You've got to watch this, I think, at least 3 or 4 times.
It's very ambiguous, and it's meant to be it's meant to not. They wanted this to be a sensory experience. They didn't want this to be a storyline. It's a very experimental.
Yeah, visuals and music. That's what you're watching.
And these are experimental filmmakers. You see it in. I don't know how Amir is, but
oh man, you love that.
Is Amir more like a cohesive story and everything?
Yeah, it's more. Okay. It's not 100 miles an hour like this one.
Well, this one's a lot. I would say it's similar in a way to this one. There's not a real.
Amir's not straightforward, mine by a long way. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of. I find it an easier watch than this one.
Yeah.
But you've got all the kind of tropes of you with the Giallo film. You've got the woman in red, and she's like this mysterious figure who he's kind of following at one point. So the color red, obviously deep red. So many references.
The Sergio Martino, like we just saw in that one clip. The Gastaldi, with the key and everything, like in
you have a Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
Strange Vice, and then Torso even.
Yeah, your voice is a lot room as well. Because doesn't he gets sent flowers at one point, and there's that message on the flowers is very similar to Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. Did you pick up on that? You probably did.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of them throughout the film. That's why I said that I think fans of the genre will. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I love the shit out of it. I love this movie. I really do, and it don't have to make sense to me. I'm good with that.
I liked it. I wouldn't go as far as to say I love it, but it's definitely room for in the future, but more watches, I might even like it better.
Right.
I don't know how many times you see it. A couple of times, yeah.
Oh, I've seen this movie at least 5 times.
That's probably why then, because I'm thinking you got to see it.
It gets better every time for me.
3 or 4 times before you can even work out the ending or what's going on. Because that little boy has got, like you say, is he?
I think it's Dan.
Yeah. Because there's a scene without giving too much away, where something happens to this little boy and then it completely turns into Dan.
You can't give nothing away with this movie.
No. Well, I don't even know. That's a good thing about it. I don't even know what's fucking gone on the last half of this film anyway.
And is at the end, close to the end, is the old lady his wife? What the hell's going on? Did he go through some kind of time portal?
Yeah, you've got the woman, like obviously she turned like she's a lot younger, and we see the young boy, and he's looking at her, and she's bleeding from between the legs, and that's kind of like the last thing, and you're thinking there's got to be some meaning behind that. Like,
and there's another scene with the little boy where he's looking at he's starting to look at like porno magazines, right?
Porno magazine, and
he
it's
starts
got the same kind of
and he's like
image.
shocked. Like,
yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, this one's really hard to like keep up with, to be honest. But I just think if you go in, like obviously people have not seen this watching this now, and you go in prepared, like to like you're just going to see visuals, great sound. Don't even think too much about the storyline or the narrative. And yeah, I think people are going to get a kick out of this. Definitely, again, you need to be a Giallo fan though. I can't see your normal.
You definitely have to for this.
Yeah.
You definitely have to. I think because if not, you're just gonna be eye rolling probably the most of the time. And then people that have to have a straightforward story, not spoon fed, this is abstract as they come.
Oh,
and I love that shit personally, but that's just me. It's not for everybody, but
no, I like the use of split screens as well. Like we mentioned De Palma for the last film. That's definitely like sisters. I think he got the influence with this one.
Right.
Yeah, and just like you say, the style and the atmosphere is there throughout.
The cinematographer is the star in this film, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's Manuel Ducasse, and he's worked on like 22 different projects, a lot of short films. I mean, to me, it's a visual masterpiece of colors, strange, unique framing, still shots mixed with slow capture, many lenses used, gels, kaleidoscope imagery, psychedelic to the max. It
is, yeah.
But his notable works would be Francois Ozon, Lamont, so some French films. Lamont Double is film came out in 2017, and another one is By the Grace of God, came out in 2019. He also did Amir in 2009, another one called Torpedo in 2012. He did a segment of ABCs of Death, O is for Orgasm. He did that segment in that. Another one called Mobile Home, Tasher Desh, The Land of Cards, 2012, another Tripnotic type film. The Lady in the Car with Glasses and a Gun is a mystery thriller.
Sounds, that took my interest when I heard that.
That's a mystery thriller, and that's a remake of the 1970 film. So,
okay, yeah.
I'm definitely going to seek out some more of his work, because the shit he does in this one, man, is a lot. It is wild, man. It's like Western form, though, right? But it's like Western and Giallo mixed together, and Let the Corpses Stand. I dig it. I dig the style a lot.
Some of the scenes in this, though, there's a scene where he finds this tape recorder, and then this woman, is it his wife? We don't know. This saying how much like they kind of fucking hate him and all this, and you don't really know how that kind of ends. I don't think
that shot though, where he goes into that one like mansion type home, right? And it's like red carpet, gold,
yeah,
and stuff like that. And that one chick's just sitting there in the dark. You can't see her, and she's like whispering all like cryptic, like that's some creepy shit. Like
it is, I mean? She's like the strange kind of shadowy woman.
Right. Yeah.
You've got the Barbara character as well. We see early on in the film when she's like pretty much on the edge of a building. You don't know whether she's about to jump. And he ends up having awkward sex with her at one point, where
and
definitely strange voice of Mrs. Ward, where you've got the glass coming down.
And that one shot where with the ice pick or the hairpin, hairpin is definitely a lizard and woman's skin.
Oh yeah, there's 2 or 3 visuals of like lizard in a woman's skin. The psychedelic scenes and that I picked up on. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me catch. We got Night
Yeah,
9 in here.
go on, man. Yeah.
Says, hello, guys. Better late than never. Yeah, man. Always. Always.
Ah, nice to have you in here, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. And yeah, better late for anybody. If you're anybody's watching this in the future, y'all think about it. And we got Nicholas. He says, I hope Katet and Forzani make a real deal horror film. After the Giallo stuff and the more Poliziotteschi, let the corpses tan. I'll watch anything they make. Absolutely. I feel the same way.
Man, that guy Nicholas, he seems to know his shit, man.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
knows
Man.
his shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Um,
I'm glad I'm not the only one. That's all I got to say. Because I know that it's probably 50-50, you know, anybody who watches these films from these.
I would say, yeah.
You know.
I just wasn't expecting what I got from this one when I first come into it, because I'd only ever seen a mirror.
Yeah. Because
but-
we were going to cover this on other podcasts we used to do, but we never got around to it. It was going to be it was going to be my pick, but I'm glad we finally got to do it. So.
But the thing about this film as well, just looking through some of my notes, it was a passion project for obviously the husband and wife director. It was conceived 7 years before their debut, Amir, in 2009, and it took 9 years to come to fruition. But like what you said earlier, the art nouveau setting was inspired by the director's love of the architectural style, filmed in Brussels and Nancy, which was the kind of perfect backdrop for the film. Yeah, man. I'm just going through some of my notes now. The film alternates between color and black and white sequences with rapid editing to create a frenetic, dreamlike pace. I think that's one of the best ways you can put it.
Yeah. I mean, there's another one I want to check out of there. It's called The Yellow Room. So obviously they're fans.
Oh, I've heard of that one, yeah.
Yeah, obviously they're fans of Giallo.
That's a Neo Giallo, yeah. That comes up on a lot of Neo Giallo lists.
That's 2002 when that came out. And
right.
I think it's a short. I think it's a short film. But I'd still like to check it out.
It's short, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
another
2012 one, I think, if I remember rightly. I think
that's 2002.
Oh, God, that's an early one then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had another one called Catharsis come out in 2001. They were like doing one a year.
Okay.
For about 4 years. And then there's another one in 2004 that I'm interested in too, called The Strange Portrait of the Lady in Yellow.
Oh shit, I never heard of that one.
Right, and that came out in 2004. So but yeah, that's the best way we could go through the strange color of your body's tears.
I gotta say though, right? So I was reading up. You realize that the early test screenings to this were so divisive that people were just walking out.
I believe it. It's not for everybody.
Because the film's intensity is just fucking 100 miles, like you say. They used the feedback to adjust the pacing a little bit, so it was probably even more frenetic, which is crazy. But they refused to clarify the narrative because people wanted to know a bit more about the narrative. But they was just insisting that the confusion was intentional anyway. Which kind of makes sense, yeah.
Also, I'll say that this film very much is, not exactly, but I would say that there's a big nod to Lisa and the Devil.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Like Bava.
And Bava did it. That was Bava's experimental film, basically.
Yeah. But what you mentioned earlier, I think I got it wrong because I said there was 400 shots in the film. But what I meant to say, there was 3,000 cuts to the film.
Okay. I was saying 400 shots. That
it
seemed like there'd be a lot more than that.
Right, yeah, it'd be a lot longer.
I thought you meant 400 scenes, and I was like, wait a minute, no, it can't be 400 scenes. But I just let it go.
My maths and the other thing wrong, but 3,000 cuts, which makes sense if you see it.
The editing is insane on this.
It really is, and the imagery as well, because we see the imagery of a head wound
and
with a vagina.
Yeah, it looks like a vagina.
We can say that, can we? Yeah, so they've got all types of shit going on, and would you say now after you watched it 5 times, you fully work out in your head how it plays out, or you still like me that you just haven't got a clue, like the ending?
Well, I kind of like let it go, you know.
Yeah, you
It's
kind
one
of
of-
just enjoy it for what it is then.
basically there's no. I'm
Right.
not trying to pigeonhole it into one box kind of deal. It's like its own thing. So I kind of like
Mm.
it's all emotion. It's emotion like sensory overload is what I get from it. You know, it's
And if you see it on that level, then I can understand why you rate it
very
so,
abstract,
so
and I just
high.
kind of appreciate it for what it is. Like you said, you know.
Yeah. We didn't do a kind of rating on the last one. I know.
Oh yeah,
What would you give Barbarian Sound Studio 8 to 10 then?
I would give it probably a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a 7, so
Okay.
not too
Yep.
much difference. This
Right.
one I know you're gonna like. For me, this was I first watched it and I was gonna give it a 5, and I didn't even give it a like on Letterboxd. But second time, I upped it to 6. And I liked the film on Letterboxd as well.
Yeah.
But this one could go like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You know, it's got potential to go higher for me. So
Yeah, it's like an 8 out of 10 for me for
I
sure.
thought you were gonna be on that kind of page. Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it a 10 or 9 because, like, you know, this is ambitious and very ballsy to make this film. You know,
Oh yeah, you can see it's completely their vision. Like there's no
they're not,
interference
and then
or anything.
the fact that they refuse to acknowledge, like, to answer what it's about and all that. That's great. I love that shit. I love everything about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do a part 2 to this. We'll pick some out. Definitely a Mia would be one, but with like Neon Demon as well, maybe. You know?
Neon Demon, probably.
Yeah.
There's some
there's
others.
a ton of them.
Yeah.
There's a ton of
I'd
them.
say, I know we've covered the film before, but what is it? Damn, I'm blanking on the name. The Peruvian film.
Peruvian?
Yeah, Last Matinee.
Oh, I fucking love that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh man, I think that'd be a good kind of standalone or something. Maybe that's got demons definitely kind of influence, hasn't it?
it's definitely
It's more of a slasher, but it has got
it's
got
a
genre
homage
elements.
to Giallo and slasher. I'd say.
Yeah.
And an Italian horror. I'd say probably.
Oh yeah, that's people are watching this now. Don't know about that film. Don't sleep on that one.
Right.
And Frenzy and Venice, I mentioned earlier. Like
Right.
Dirk hasn't seen that yet, have you?
No.
Oh man, you would love that. You
Okay.
would love that one. I won't give too much away, but the whole imagery with the masks and like set in Venice, obviously.
Okay. Well, cool, man. I guess we'll get on to the next one, man. We're coming into unless you had anything else you wanted to mention.
No, man, no, yeah. No, I think we said everything we need to say on that one.
Yeah, it's an experience, y'all. There's not
Strap
not a
yourself
whole
in,
lot.
like when you watch it.
There's not a whole lot to be said. Like, we mentioned some of the things, but that we're not really doing it justice, in my opinion. Like, you just got to watch it, experience.
It's one that Dirk knows. Every time we do films, I'll do a scene for scene and I'll write every scene out so I know everything. That one I did manage to do, but it was so hard to keep up scene for scene with it. As you can imagine, you just don't know where it's going, or
Right.
But yeah,
it's fragmented for a reason, though. It's fragmented on purpose. You know, it's it's the ultimate mystery film for sure.
It's an experience, I'll say.
We got Riverman in here. What's up, lads?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, good to have you in here, man. We're about to get into the third film, VideoMan. VHS is dead. So, yeah.
This one surprised me.
This is quite a bit different than the other two. Like, well, all three of these are different from each other, but like the only thing they have in common is the modern homage to the Giallo and Italian cinema, I'd say. But
I think I probably like this one a bit more than you. I don't know what you're going to score it later, but I think I liked it a touch more. This
I like it. There's certain things there's certain things I could cut out of it, but I'll show a clip. And yeah, I had to do something on the clip to you know. But anyway, here we go. I'm just gonna go with it. All right.
You want to see me fuck the gear stick?
Nej, det har jag inte.
Det enda jag saknar med mitt ex, det var kaffe på sängen. Jag bytte.
Vad fan är det här? Hallå?
You're so pretty, documentary, but like before that, you've been for years. And it's sexy as fuck.
Lindberg, då kan du börja snacka. Och då snackar vi inte DVD och Blu-ray.
Snälla, det är ju som att säga att Fulci är bättre än Argento.
Ja, men det är han ju också.
What?
Vad fan, Fulci har gjort kostymdramer, han har gjort sexkomedier, han har gjort westernfilmer, han har gjort actionfilmer, zombiefilmer, han har gjort giallofilmer. Han har fan gjort allt!
Jaha.
Vad fan har Argento gjort? Samma jävla film om och om. Han gör ju bara sina jävla giallofilmer.
Så Suspiria är en giallo?
Ja, verkligen. Enda skillnaden är att mördaren är en häxa istället för att vara en psykopat.
Jag orkar inte. Du kan ju aldrig ha fel. I'm gonna fucking blow your mind. Nej, jag tittar inte på VHS.
All right.
Well, I'm glad you didn't show the clip of Rizal Baneri. I was thinking from Slaughter Hotel.
Yeah, I did show it, but like, well, I didn't show the clip, but I did had to, like, you've seen the projector, right? Behind the dude.
Yeah.
I had to blur it out.
Exactly. I know what you were saying when you
I've had to blur some of that out. So
this is just like ultra low budget, but just got so much kind of love of the Giallo genre.
And I would say not just
like it, I think.
Not just Giallo though, like it also is Italian horror in general and cult cinema, because it's showing like clips from like thriller, showing some grindhouse shit as well. You know, the chicks, what film is that where the chick says, you want to see me fuck the gear stick?
I don't know, I was trying to work that one out as well.
Right.
Yeah, because some of the posters in the background are like, he got the killer must kill again. Some fucking awesome.
Tombs of the Blind Dead.
Yeah.
There's some Spanish. Yeah. I mean, just cult cinema in general, right?
Oh yeah, this one, like, it's not. I can't recommend it to anyone if you don't like Giallo films again. But if you don't like really low budget films, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah,
but
it's
for love. Just for the love of everything, you know, all things Italian, it's worth watching alone.
Yeah, just cult cinema in general, I'd say, because I mean, I know most of it's, especially that argument. I had to put that argument in there, like between Fulci and Argento.
I'm fucking team fucking Argento, as you know.
Well, I'm agreeing with a Neo.
I love Fulci. Yeah, we would have been those two characters that we would have been
right. Because I mean, yeah, like he's right. Like Argento makes the same film over and over.
I will agree with him that I think Suspiria is a Giallo, but just with a witch. It really is, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You can't argue that. And Inferno as well, to some degree, is a Giallo.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't say Three Mothers.
Just got the witch element.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to talk about this one. No, Three Mothers isn't. Three Mothers is fucking on its own.
That's more like
That's
a cult slasher almost, you know.
I like Three
Supernatural
Mothers
slasher.
more than I did when it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah. And we did the Three Mothers, didn't we, last Halloween? So check that out.
Yeah, man, that was a damn good one, I thought, that we did.
This one, though, I don't know if you want to go into the director. I would imagine there's not much to say.
Let me catch the chat right quick. Chris says, "Oh, good dark synth in this one." Yeah.
Yeah.
The scores,
soundtrack's great.
Yeah. Oh, I need to see this one. Yeah, I'd say. Texas says some jackhole arguing about Fulci. Yeah. Fulci and Argento. Fulci is the best. Yeah, he is. Definitely. Agreed. Yeah.
He's not far behind. I will give him that.
You're outnumbered there.
Argentos will always, like, no one can come along.
The Fulci zombie nerd heads are coming out. Like, so.
I just think, to me, like, Fulci's got a few more, like, misfires rather. I know Argento is as well, but I kind of like Argento's misfires more. And that's what I base it on. But I'm never going to change my opinion on Argento. Even if someone come along now and was amazing, I still wouldn't put him above.
It's just the fact that, to me, like what he was saying, though, like, because he's made all these different styles of films. And
if you take that into regard, then I can't argue against Fulci. I will give you that one. Yeah, but in terms of what I like, it's just Argento, man.
Because, I mean, the Westerns and the Beatrice Cenci, holy shit, you know.
Oh, man, you got, and we're doing a show next week, aren't we, on Fulci as well?
Contraband. And I know you're not a big fan of that one, but I am.
Oh, I liked it. We did it on Dead End, didn't we, on Visited by Voices? But no, I liked it. I didn't hate it at all. I think I was like a 6 or whatever, but I don't know. Just some of his non-horror films I kind of find, you know, even though Contrabando's got a lot of horror elements.
Oh, definitely.
And you got
even his damn Westerns do, you know. Like,
but you've got the whole Manhattan Baby as well, kind of nod in this, which I liked.
Yeah,
because he brings over. We'll come into the story anyway in a minute.
Right. Yeah,
he comes over to his girl, like this girl he's seeing, or this woman he's seeing, and he brings Manhattan Baby, but she's got only like a Region 2 DVD player, so I thought that was kind of interesting and fun. There's also stuff like that,
and also she's a big fan of Egyptian stuff. You know?
Egyptian stuff, 1980s as a decade she loves, and I think she's kind of into social media. But we can start off. We can go for the story anyway. We want to talk a little bit about the main 2 lead actors, who I think are outstanding. I don't know if you want to mention anything before, Dirk.
I can mention the director. His name's Christian A. Soderstrom.
Yeah,
and he got this idea from a guy that owned a video store, and the guy hadn't been on vacation in 14 years. And also the guy like lost his wife, left him after 20 years. And but he asked him if he could film him for a year just to get research to make this. Because so the guy just was like really manic about his video store. So he was the character Neo in a way, like as far as like renting his tapes out, like he wanted to make sure like everything came back perfectly, and he was obsessed with everything, with all his videotapes. And
we see clips of him in the extras as well, the actual guy that they base this on, and that all the stuff in the film, like in the basement, that's all his shit. That's all his VHS posters.
That cellar,
it's crazy. Crazy.
So he just thought it was kind of sad because the guy that was his life, you know, basically. And it just, you know, video stores became obsolete, and he shut his video store down, and everything he devoted his whole life to is just taken away pretty much. So, and then the video man angle is like he's like an anti-hero because he's burglarizing these homes and shit, you know?
Right.
Because there's billboards of him and shit on the, like, of what he looks like and everything. Like, but It's kind of it's a comedy. I'd say. I wouldn't say it's a horror film though, right? It's a comedy thriller, I guess.
Do you know what I got out of it? I think it's like a really endearing kind of love story as well.
That's the part of it I wish would have cut out. You know,
I like that part. See,
the mushy gushy shit I could have done away with.
Those two characters have got so much kind of chemistry,
right?
That I think it works for the film. Right. But we'll come into that because the two actors knew each other, I think, anyway beforehand.
Right.
But I could mention the two actors if you want, Dirk. You finished with the?
I was just gonna say.
Go on, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I just got other things to mention later, so we're good.
There's not too much you can say really because
this is his first film, and
exactly, and it's written. He wrote it and directed it.
He's a film student at UCLA, mostly shorts and commercials is what he's done, and but yeah, definitely a head nod to the cult film, you know, in general.
Yeah. He did music videos, so he did Samantha Fox's
Samantha Fox got a Hot Boy,
and it's included in this film as
well.
It
is, and I was cracking up, dude. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I showed Tasha. I was like, "You remember her?" She's like,
"But no? This is her in like 2017, which is like she's like older and less attractive and everything."
She still look good for her age, though.
Not so much today, because I've seen her on a couple of reality TV shows in the UK.
Well, in that video, she
looks rough, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you can do like makeup.
I used to have a poster of Samantha Fox on my.
Oh man, she was #1 like for me at the time.
I had a poster of her on my ceiling, dude.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that would be perfect, like for when you're like a teenage boy. So you could lie on your bed or whatever. But no, man, she was she was. So you've got the music's by Robert Parker and Wave Shaper, and it is really good. I think that last song over the opening credits I really like a lot. I could see myself listening to this like quite a bit if it was like on proper soundtrack. But it stars Stephen Salk and he plays Ennio. People that might know him from Millennium, he was in 2 episodes. The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, Vendetta in 1995. He was born in 1955 in Stockholm, Sweden. He's an actor, comedian. He's directed as well. And he's outstanding in this film, I think. He's really like him and a woman called Lena Nilsson. She plays his kind of love interest, Simone.
She won Best Supporting Actress for this film in 2018. It's called the Gold Badge. It's basically Sweden's Oscar.
Like their BAFTAs or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's she was in Let the Right One In 2008.
Okay.
She's a recovering alcoholic, so she used to be an alcoholic in real life. So doing this, this touches a lot on the themes of alcoholism and
I'd say addiction in general.
Yeah.
Obsession, addiction, and they're like broken ass people, coming together.
Yeah, but I like that aspect. I know you didn't.
What about the wussy dude though? Like that's funny. Like
the Giallo boss dude, they call him.
Giallo boss. Yeah, his friend.
He's pussy whipped, and he's like
such a. But there's some deleted scenes where he's not. So I wish they would have thrown those in the film.
Oh shit! I thought I seen all the extras. That's the only ones I didn't see. Is the deleted.
There's some deleted scenes where he's kind of nutting up to his old lady fun. And I was
like, right, okay.
I wish that would have been in the film because it made him look like a complete bitch. I was like,
but that's where the comedy element comes in as well, where he's trying at every opportunity to watch these films, and he's
got to sneak around.
Oh, it's his girlfriend, isn't it? Or what? Yeah. He's in the toilet and he's fucking texting him, and he and I think his girlfriend tells Ennio at one point as well. Then she don't care for him or anything, or do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of
because Ennio's telling her like. Basically, well, she's telling him that she don't care that I don't know if that's in a deleted scene or not, but she's telling him at one point she don't care that she likes normal films, and that might be a deleted scene with Ennio, and he's saying normal, ordinary. That's not entertainment and all this shit.
Right.
Like,
that might be in the film. I know.
Okay.
They do have a conversation in the film.
I mixed everything up because I watched all that shit, you know. So.
Right. So you've got Enzo, this character, like you say, he used to be a successful video store owner in Sweden back in the 80s and 90s. Now we're in the digital age. Pretty much, you know, it's all been phased out VHS, but he keeps all of his in his basement, where he dreams of one day he wants to open his own video shop again. He's in a lot of financial trouble. He's lonely. He's addicted to alcohol. He finds it difficult to interact with people, I would say. And then you've got kind of the whole thing with the zombie VHS tape, which is, I think, it's kind of a cool idea.
Is it supposed to be zombie or is it supposed to be City of the Living Dead?
Zombie too, I think. But
zombie, on the cover, it shows City of the Living Dead cover. You know,
it's confusing because I'm not sure if they call it. Do they call it zombie flash eaters at one point? Maybe not. But that's what I got out of it. I thought it was.
I thought it was zombie too, but then I've seen the cover and I was like, "What the hell?" You know. So
yeah, it's kind of misleading. But all those VHSs look real as well. So
yeah, they did.
Maybe
they called City of Living Dead zombie at one point.
Possible, yeah.
In a different country, especially. So.
Oh yeah, so he's got this rare VHS of zombie, and I guess this collector called Faceless ring finds out that he has this tape.
You know that right there is a head nod to Franco, the Faceless film, also the Faceless, the No Face Killer, right, from Bob.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. This like every other scene is some kind of nod.
There's so many references and nods. Yeah.
But she offers him like 10 grand for this really rare VHS tape.
Right.
He thought, like I said earlier, he's in financial difficulties and he thinks, shit, this could like save me basically. So he agrees to sell the tape. She says she wants it in like 4 days, I think it is. She'll meet up with him. And then he goes all through this where he loses the videotape and he's kind of demented, can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how he does find it in the end, but yeah.
And that clip that we was just showing, like with him and the big guy, Oscar, he thinks that he's stolen it from him.
So he's like,
So he's like, he's trying to like get him to get out of the room so he can spike his drink, and he keeps telling him to drink up and shit. I mean, there's some funny ass shit in the movie. But
he's like passes out at one point, then his friend, and
then he's
cutting up pizza with fucking scissors and shit.
And it's a nasty son of a bitch in there too.
But
in the kitchen,
he's got that fucking Tomb of the Blind Dead poster that I want so bad, man.
Yeah,
he's got.
I don't know, what's that other film right next to it?
He's got. I'm not sure. I know he's like SS. Not experiment camp. Has he got what's the one? With,
there's several like throughout the film that we
with a Nancy woman, Diane Fawn. I'm blanking on the name of the film, but there's that.
From the day it was founded until the present time, in this lovely building, there has been a tradition.
Somebody with a cock this big raped Angela Russo and threw her in the river.
Stop.
That was fucking randomly put in there.
Yeah.
So I love that fucking
yeah. Sorry.
No, that's all right, man. That's all right. But anyhow, like he meets Simone. She's like this secretary. She's always drunk. She's got like a really asshole boss as well. That kind of wants her to work all the time. She's got a daughter who's like recently got back involved with her father, and she's kind of jealous of that situation because her daughter puts her off at one point, doesn't she, to meet up with her. And she's got to hide all this alcohol in her neighbor's like apartment just so her daughter don't see what she's up to.
Yeah, and he's getting irritated about it. He's like kind of questioning her, like, "What the hell?" You know.
And he does that thing where like he comes and she asks for it back, and he's like, "No, I drank it." And like, I thought that was kind of funny the way he says it, because you completely believe him at first as well.
Yeah, he's fucking with her. Yeah.
But she meets Ennio at a bus stop of all places, doesn't she? And then they kind of bond over their loneliness, their addictive kind of personality, and all that. And I can believe that type of. I can believe that they were a couple. They're superb in that role, I think.
Yeah, they have good chemistry. It's just not like, to me, that's the only thing for me that, like, I don't know. I could have done without some of that, but whatever.
No, and I get that. I mean, that's not going to be for everyone. And the song over the end credits as well is probably not going to be for everyone. But
right.
But I do think you've got to really be a big Giallo fan to get anything out of this at all. If you're just if you're watching this now, you're a mainstream horror fan, and I wouldn't say don't. I'll certainly
probably not for you. Yeah.
Stream it anyway before you buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the old Rosalba Neri that we mentioned. So there's a scene in the film of Slaughter Hotel,
right,
where it's quite clearly a porn insert. And then they have this argument of whether that's actually Rosalba Neri's private parts and all. I thought that was fucking crazy.
And see, Oscar's actually winning the argument. You notice that with the Neo? He's winning the argument about that. And then the Neo's like, I never liked her anyway. Bring me some filmography, the whole filmography of Anita Steinberg.
I knew Dirk would get a kick out of that. Like I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
There's
funny
some
to
great
me.
stuff, man.
You know, like that whole scene is great with him and Oscar.
Oh yeah, and they have these Giallo fonts together, don't they? Where they just sit and they watch Giallo films all night, and yeah, man.
And Oscar's like a nasty bastard. I mean, they're both kind of nasty, though, to be honest.
Yeah. It does capture that. Because I'm old enough now, and like Dirk probably is as well. But we can remember the old VHS days where you would literally have these marathons with your friends, and like it captures that like to perfection.
Well, I told you when I was coming up, man. A good friend of mine named Ryan. His stepdad was the manager of Sound Warehouse, and they would get all these screener copies, and we'd watch all the most twisted shit that we could find, right? Like, you know, so
basically
it'd be like,
before it came out as well,
yeah, before he was able to rent them or whatever. But that's one thing I was going to touch on. It has something to do with the film, but not really. So I did want to bring this up. So the first notable video rental store in America anyway was in Los Angeles in December of 1977. I didn't realize that it was that early. Like, I didn't realize it was 77 because and this guy had 50 VHS and Betamax, and his name was George Atkinson. So 79 VCRs were getting popular, like in all the homes.
I think we got ours in 79 because I remember distinctively taping Salem's Lot in the two TV episodes.
Okay.
And Lorne would probably know a bit about that, like the year actually VHS came out. But 77, I would have thought that was early.
Well, we didn't actually. I know when they came out, I remember we would hit the video store, but like I remember us renting a VCR.
We did. Yeah, like
we had to rent a VCR at first because they were
and
just
those
too damn
things
much.
were heavy as fuck as well. Like
and they come in like this box kind of deal. It was like a briefcase. The ones
we didn't have
ones we had came in a briefcase and it was attached to the briefcase. Like
and you had these big like piano keys, like I remember that. Man.
But so we didn't actually get a VCR until like it was either 82 or 83 is when I remember because that's when I first, I was probably 5 or 6 years old watching all that shit like for the first time because we'd rent so many movies too, every weekend.
You do a weekender, yeah. Like I was lucky because the video, like we had a couple of big video places, but we had like a little shop where my dad knew the woman who run it, and she literally would let me fucking rent The Exorcist and fucking things like that on my own. And I was 10, 11. But most of the time, if I went to like the bigger stores, my sister was like 16, 17, her boyfriend was like 18 at the time, and they would get a lot for me. I was watching fucking The Burning, Friday the 13th,
Right.
Fucking everything when it come out.
Yeah, I was watching
Like,
all
really
that.
lucky.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas.
Yeah.
know.
Well, I say when it come out, we used to get things like 6 months ahead. 6 months. You would guess it things 6 months ahead of us, so we had to wait on a lot. But
Right.
now it's all fucking instant, isn't it?
But yeah, so like here it was Video Time, Video One. Those are the two main stores I remember. They were like mom and pop shops. And I didn't see a Blockbuster and all that shit till way later. You know?
Oh, I don't think they come out till way later, did they?
Yeah. Well, they came out in '83, I think.
Did they really?
That's what
Shit,
it said.
I wouldn't have thought.
When I looked it up, it said that. But I mean, the video store time, man, was just, I just had to bring that up because that was a magical time, dude, to go to the video store and I could just sit in there for forever, pretty much, and just look at all the shit. Because you could only, and it was always a gamble, you know? It wasn't like, you're like, damn, is that going to be good? Like, let me.
I don't know if you guys had the same, but what they used to do in our ones was we'd have like a folder of all the covers, and you could go through all the covers.
Yeah.
And like, because we at the time as well, I was kind of big into sex comedies, believe it or not, when I was like fucking 10.
The way it
we were
worked
watching
for us,
Screwballs, Porgies.
Oh yeah,
all
a lot of sex comedy shit.
Yeah, Lemon Pops,
Hard Bodies, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But the way it was all the covers were on the shelves, and then when you take the cover to the desk, they would hand you a black clamshell,
right. Same
with the tape in it, so you didn't get to take the cover home. Like,
no, too many people would have pinched them, I'm sure.
Right. Now some stores did later on, but at first that's what I remember was. Yeah, those just plain black ass cases, like, you know.
I used to have 2 videos pretty early on. I used to copy everything, but then you get the tapes you couldn't copy because they were like encoded or something, and then every time you tried to do it, it would just come up all fucking blurry.
Well, we figured a way around that. Like, you put a piece of tape over that little square.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even work that one out.
Yeah, there was a little square tab. And it was tore out on so you couldn't record over the.
That's right. Yeah.
You couldn't record over the hard copies, so you just put a little piece of tape over that square and shit. But
I didn't even know you could do that, man.
It would still do that light and dark shit. It sucked.
Oh God, yeah. I remember, like vividly, like that. I've mentioned it on you before, but like the summer, I think it was 87. And I was watching all like the Nightmare on Elm Street films, Demons. I remember the first 2 Demons. I was watching for the first time. Man, From Beyond and all stuff like that. And like my kind of like
Make Them Die Slowly.
No, I wouldn't have put that on.
That was us though. Like, you know, the kind of shit
I didn't get to see any of that, right? So I seen
and Omega Bueno. Is that not Omega? Not a. You know, Buried Alive.
Beyond the Darkness, yeah.
Beyond the Darkness, yeah.
No, I didn't see that till DVD, actually, believe it or not.
That was the first Italian horror I ever saw. I
remember seeing Cannibal Holocaust in like a fucking 50 generation like tape, which made it even like more fucking real. If that makes sense.
I saw Make Them Die Slowly before I saw Holocaust.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
And then I think you probably had the same. There was a bootleg going around of the Blair Witch Project before it even come out in the cinema. So I remember seeing that.
I saw that shit in the theater. So
I was underwhelmed with that film, but I've come to like really like it. I know we're going off on a tangent.
Yeah, sorry, let's bring it back. I'm sorry. It's kind of my fault though.
Anyone got any like video memories and shit?
I see
comments.
Yeah, let me catch the comments right quick. It says let's see. Where was I at? Okay, Chris says Suspiria is a Giallo is a great argument.
I 100%. It's a Giallo until it isn't a Giallo.
A witch, not a psychopath. Wow, great shirt. Justin Marino says Contraband is great. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I love the shit out of the Contraband.
That's one I think I'm gonna like more and more. Like I said, I do like it, but I think
it's gore. It's got the horror gore in that shit. Like when you see bodies blown up, it looks like Fauci zombies.
That's the one with the fucking machine gun. Like
with Fauci pops out with a machine gun.
Yeah. It's
This
crazy.
shit here. Hold on, I got it. It's right here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said it, because I thought you'd have the clip.
Right. Yeah. So, oh, Peter Bark stole the tape. Yeah, man.
Oh man,
Chris
that
says
would be
got
a
my
film
first
in itself, man.
Got my first VCR at 16 or 17. I think Black Friday deal. Well, I remember my mom getting the Magnavox TV set floor model with the VCR. I think that shit was $1,000.
I spoke to you about this before, but I've
Yeah.
never got the fact that like you Americans had the TV on the fucking floor. I could
We had
never
the floor
get
model with it was like a piece of furniture. It was like all made
Oh
out
yeah,
of wood.
weighed a ton, I bet. Yeah.
It did. It was like made out of wood and shit, like the casing around it.
You need
It
like
had
4
wheels.
people to fucking carry it or
It
whatever.
had wheels. Once you get on the floor, you can roll it.
Oh, okay.
So
But why did you watch films like on the floor?
that's just how it was, you know.
I
But
don't know, man. I just never got
crazy,
that.
ain't it?
Never got my head around that.
And I always sat down on the floor too, by the couch. Like I'd always just chill on the floor, watch TV.
But it makes sense if you're young, I suppose. Yeah, you could like lounge around on the floor and watch it. But when I don't know, when you sat up and you're looking down, I just don't get that.
Yeah, and you know, the super big screens too, 19-inch TV. You know.
Yeah. You had bigger fucking screens than us.
Back then, that was huge. You know, 19-inch. You know, I remember the first time I saw a 32, I was like, oh shit.
I didn't have a 32-inch TV until like fucking hell, I'm talking 2000s.
I didn't see them until I went to a friend's house or something, you know?
Yeah. And even then, you would look at a 32-inch TV and you'd be like, fuck, man, that's like a cinema screen.
Right.
When, considering like I got like a fucking 65 just to that side of me, you know, it's like nothing.
And let's see. Nicholas says, I miss video stores more than some of my own family. I completely feel that, for sure.
It wasn't just like actually seeing the films as well, which that's like 99%, but it's going in there and meeting people or speaking to people who recommending you films.
And
and
I was
talking to
there.
the people who work there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I was there like twice, 2-3 times a week, and we'd be talking films, you know,
There was
and
a
they knew.
community. Yeah, it was a community.
Those people knew what I liked and vice versa. You know,
and some of them, like ones where I was, they would actually play you a bit of the videotape as well to like.
They
like
generally had something playing. They had a TV playing, like something all the time,
just to get you kind of wanting to see it.
Let's see. It was a special time for sure, no doubt about it.
Oh man, I know we're spoiled now with everything we've got, but.
Exactly.
I'm glad I'm glad I come back.
Glad I got to experience it. For sure. My family got our first VCR in '84, and the first tape we bought was Purple Rain. Oh shit.
Okay. Prince. Yeah.
And tapes back then were expensive when they first come out. They were like
you couldn't buy them like
$80 if you wanted it. You know,
probably more in the UK. Like I remember like 100. I think they were at some point.
Shit.
The first one I ever bought was Predator. So that tells you there was a big kind of.
I think the first VHS we bought was actually the first VHS tape that I ever bought was Night of the Living Dead, and I bought it the original Night of the Living Dead '68.
Did you get that from like an old garage or something?
I got it at a yard sale.
Yeah, because anyone could sell that film, couldn't they, for a long time?
I bought it for 50 cents, man. But that was like the first tape I actually bought. Because, like I said, they were so expensive, we were just constantly renting them, you know?
Well, I remember paying 20 for Predator, and 20 pound back then is probably equivalent, I don't know, about 40 or 50 pound now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember that. And being all excited as well, I could actually watch Predator in my own fucking home. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
anytime
weird.
you want. That's the shit, right?
Yeah, in low fucking quality.
You could pause it and go to the bathroom.
Right.
Or you could like slow motion on certain scenes.
It's crazy now when you think these youngsters got it fucking made today.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see. Texas says we had this mom and pop store we rented from, and that's when I saw Blood Feast, Basket Case, Pieces, etc. Hell yeah.
Basket Case was a big early one for me as well.
Yeah.
I never got to see Pieces until for like pretty much when like DVD came out. It's the first time I saw that. But Basket Case was a big one for me. I remember renting the hell out of that.
Beyond the Darkness. Well, it was called Buried Alive. That was big for me. That was huge for me.
I didn't see that till DVD. Another big one for me was what's the one with Elmer? Same director's Basket
Brain
Case.
Damage.
Brain Damage. That was. I remember copying that and playing the hell out of that.
Vanderhoff says he's in here. What's going on, man? He says, hello, guys. Wondering if I should order the new high tension box set from Lamberto Bava. I did.
No brainer. Right.
Yeah, I did.
There's a film on there called The School of Fear, which I fucking love. And there's a Giallo called Eyewitness.
If you're a fan of Lamberto Bava, I'd say go for it.
No brainer, man. Go for it. Because you want to get it before it sells out as well.
Chris says 27-inch TV, baby.
Oh man, that was a cinema screen.
That's a big ass TV. We had a 19-inch. I remember. I
remember having like a 14-inch.
Yeah.
I literally had a 14-inch, and then
I had in my bedroom. I had a black and white.
Like
whatever. It was a small ass screen. I can't. Maybe was that 7 or 8 inch or some shit. You know.
Yeah, you could get tablets fucking bigger now.
Right.
What you had, yeah.
Let's see. Vanderhoff says that's all we knew. I was born in '68. Yeah, man.
Yeah. 71 I was born in, and
Chris had it going on, man. He says stereo system 5.1 with like 4 speakers.
Fuck, man.
We didn't have all that. We didn't have surround sound and shit.
No, I had a basic, like you say, rented VHS, and I don't know if my dad bought one eventually, but yeah, we didn't have like super fucking stuff like that.
Nicholas says my dad bought a Superman VHS in like '80 for $100. Damn. Yeah.
Fuck.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Fuck,
sure.
You could put a fucking deposit down for a house with that money, but probably back in
But
those
then
days.
they started coming down on that shit, you know? So
yeah, the more kind of popular it got. For sure, yeah.
They were still about $30 though.
I remember just taping shit off a TV, man. Like, and religiously just watching it every summer when you're off school. Like
I'd put it on that. Yeah, I'd put it on that SLP, so I could put. So
you get
6
like
hours and shit. You know,
4 films on there, pretty much. I remember taping all the Hammer double features off the UK TV. Right. Peter Cushing and oh man, yeah, some great times. Great times, man.
Hell yeah. Well, sorry, man, we went off on a tangent, but I had to bring up the nostalgia times of the.
It's all good, man. I mean, it's all good. I know we're doing a show on Dead Pit as well tonight, so hopefully, if because people might not be into Giallo and all that, maybe some of our conversations they might like if we, a bit more, because we tried to mix it up a bit, then we when we're doing the Dead Pit stuff, and keep the serious kind of stuff for our channel,
right? But yeah, I'll pause on the comments for now.
Okay, we're still on video, man. Believe it or not.
Yeah, we're still on video, man.
But yeah, with this film as well, which I like, because we've got some kind of Giallo elements where he's being chased by a masked person at some point, and you've got the whole faceless character.
And then some of it's like he's you don't know if he's like imagining this shit.
No, dreamlike. Yeah, definitely. I love all that shit. The whole, because we won't give it away, but the whole reason why Faceless is going after these videotapes, these rare videotapes, I thought that was kind of like a good way to explain it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just think was it like an hour 40? Was it hour 40? And it did go. It didn't really drag for me. I know. I thought it did for you. You said it did for you, didn't it? First time, or
no? It didn't drag. It's just some of the mushy gushy, lovey dovey shit. Like some of the tender hearted shit. That's just not my bag, really.
Right.
I don't know.
No. I can get that, man.
You know what I mean?
But like watching the interview with Christian Soderstrom as well. And he mentioned films like Polanski's The Tenant, The Conversation, which is one I've always wanted to watch.
Coppola.
1974 one. So that's got me like really interested in checking that one out.
And Mike Lee's Naked.
Yeah, which I've never heard of that one before.
I haven't seen it either. Criterion put it out though. It has a Criterion release.
That's kind of it's weird how it gets me interested in checking out some of these titles.
Right, because those 3 films he said is what really inspired this one, right?
Yeah.
But and this premiered at Fright Fest in 2018. This is the film I was talking about. So
it did. Like, so Alan Jones is the big Argento guy. He's kind of written books on Argento and all that. He runs that festival, and he got this included. What I did warm to the director, though, because in the interview he does actually say that Stendhal Syndrome is Argento's last fucking great film.
Yeah, I heard him say it. Yeah.
He calls it a masterpiece, and I was like, well, fucking happy with that. Right. I would go even further and say Sleepless, I think, is one of his last great ones. But
I think Sleepless is his last.
I think we had this conversation in the last couple of weeks as well. But Dark Glasses, I remember Lorne saying as well. That's so yeah, that I kind of warmed my heart to this.
Dark Glasses for me is like mid. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. For me, it's above mid. I'd say.
Yeah.
Whether it might break my top 10 Argento, maybe I'd have to do that. I've been thinking about doing that as a stream, maybe doing like a ranking on Argentos, and like we'd have to watch that Last Days of whatever film.
We've been on some Argento the past. How long?
No, yeah, I know. I wouldn't be anytime soon. It wouldn't be anytime soon. I know.
Right.
Our next Argento will probably be like the Animal trilogy, probably, but
right. But he wanted to capture the idea of fanboys over and over arguing over their opinions that most people wouldn't give a shit about or even know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
A film for film nerds made by a film nerd. That's a quote from Stefan Sauk, the lead actor, Ennio, in this film.
He's an interesting dude as well when you watch his interview.
Yeah.
Very charismatic.
Yeah. He said he played like a version of James Bond or something.
Yeah. He's in his home country, he's like really well known, a really big actor. They were surprised that they got him on board for this, but he wanted to support, independent kind of cinema. And then that's like because he knew the Lena. He recommended her to the director.
Mm-hmm.
They auditioned her for a role as well in like this little fucking apartment, like she was saying, and she the director turned around and said to her, we'll do the film, but it might be in like 9 months, a year. And she said, fuck, I want to do it sooner. She was like really into like the script and all that. And then the director ended up phoning her 2 weeks later and said, look, we got to go ahead. We're going to do this. The one thing she did say, though, she said there wasn't a lot of time. So they did the filming. I gathered it must have been like a couple of weeks or something. And she said she loved the experience that much. She wished it lasted longer, which is kind of endearing when you see her interview as well. I really liked her. I'd love to see her in other films, actually. See, she's got the old look. He actually says to her in the film that she's got the look of like some of these old Giallo like queens. Do you know what I mean? But in this time, when they're a bit older,
right?
Do you know if that makes sense? She's got that look about her, which I like. Very kind of Scandinavian look to her. But yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like I said, that's the part of the film that, like, I mean, I get it, I love all the other shit, all the comedy and the rhetoric back and forth and shit, like
you can't help but like this film if you're a Giallo fan, I think.
Right. But
yeah.
But yeah, this is probably the least favorite of the 3, though, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm interested into what you give it now out of 10.
So I give this one probably a 5.
I thought you was going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm like slightly above. I would say a 6, but go on, sorry, Dirk. Go on.
Yeah, just right there in the middle. Like, there's a lot to like with it, but to go back to it a lot, I doubt it. You know what I mean? I'm glad
it's not one,
I'm glad it got made. I just don't see me rewatching this a ton. Now, Strange Color, I could put that shit on and just have it in the background. Like, that's one of them films that you could do that with, you know? You don't have to.
Yeah. No,
you know?
Yeah, this is probably the same as Barbarian Sound Studio, where you probably might watch it again in a couple of years, 2-3 years, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I like it a little bit more than Dirk, so I might even say like a year's time, I might get the itch to watch this again.
Right.
But in terms of all three films, I enjoyed all three films this week, but nothing blew me away. That's the only thing.
Nothing except
really.
Strange Color, but I'd already seen it. But the other two I hadn't seen before. But I'll say that I appreciate what they're doing. You know, they're, if nothing else, like people that watch these films, they're like, even if they don't know what the hell they're talking about, maybe it'll interest them, pique their interest to want to check out the genre, you know?
I would definitely, I agree completely. I would definitely support this director as well.
Yeah, so it's getting it out there, like, you know, in some kind of,
absolutely.
You know?
If you see this, and even like on a sale, if it comes up on sale to buy, I mean, you can do a lot worse than this one.
This was limited to 1,000, I thought. Maybe the slip.
Oh shit, was it really?
Maybe the slip's limited to 1,000, but
yeah, who fucking knows, man? With these,
with the film, I don't know how many copies they made, but yeah, I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it in the collection for sure.
Oh, it's a great one. I'm just looking at the cover art, which is like a videotape.
Yeah,
let me show that off quickly. The alternative cover art is like a fucking
it's pretty cool. I dig it.
Videotape. Yeah.
You to show it right quick?
Yeah, go on, sorry. Let me get it in front of my microphone. I don't know if it has to come up there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to have. I still prefer the other cover art though, but
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I dig that.
But no, like you say, you can do a lot worse. This is a decent one.
But yeah, he's completely obsessed with films and it just consumes.
Oh man, look at the back as well of that. Look at the fucking I love the artwork to that.
Right. Yeah. It's a good one. Well, like middle of the road. There's some of the love stuff, you know, I could have done without, but whatever. It is what it is.
I can see myself maybe in a year's time rewatching it. But it's good to have in the Giallo kind of collection anyway, because I want to collect everything.
Yeah. That's good for that for sure.
I'm gonna fucking blow your mind.
That's weird as well, when it goes into English and then fucking.
I've noticed that, like with like Swedish and Norwegian, like they'll be talking just native tongue and then just start speaking English.
A random English line in the middle of it all, like, and then they'll go back to like Swedish.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad we did this. We finally covered some modern Giallo.
Yeah, man,
films that you know tip the hat to the old.
We'll probably next time, like I say, we'll probably do a Mia. What was the other one we was talking about? A Mia. Oh, the Neon Demon. Yeah. So there'll probably be a higher level.
Amir, Neon Demon, and maybe what was the other one?
I'm blanking on what you said now. You did mention one, didn't you?
Oh, Last Matinee.
Oh, yeah. No, fuck, man, that would be a great show.
Yeah.
That would be a great show. That's a bizarre scene at the end of that film as well. That comes out of nowhere when he does that.
Yeah, now I'm fucking around.
That's the goblin. That's the goblin.
Yeah.
That's a crazy fucking scene, man.
Yeah, man. Well, is there anything else you want to bring up, man?
I've got some shit I can show off quickly if you want.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. I'll be right back, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead and do what you got to do. I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's get this shit together. It's not too much. Like, it's not everything I've got recently, but I think everyone's seen these. And I'm not a massive fan of these, but I did buy them anyway because I want to hear Michael Felcher's commentary. But Jason Goes to Hell, The Arrow. I'm looking forward to actually giving that a go now again. And Jason X, which I never liked, but I know Lorne's a big fan, so yeah, I want to get to a point where I like this one. So this is the new 88 films, I believe, of Night Train Murders, which is one of my favorite. I got 2 editions of this. Well, I've got 3 if you count. No, 4 if you count the DVD and the others. Not sure if I showed this. I don't think I have, but it's Dressed to Kill, the Arrow release, which I love. One of my favorite films here. 88 films, 9 guests for the crime, which is in the Forgotten Jolly box sets, but I'm fucking stupid. I rebuy shit. But this does look like a nice kind of package. Look at the artwork on that, man. This one's for Kenneth. I don't know if he's going to watch on replay or if he's watching and just not chatting. Oasis of Fear. I know he really wants to get this version. It's the Shameless one, the new one. So I love this film. I think it's so underrated. I think Lenzi, like, one of his best. I'm dipping into the Krimi films because I bought another big box set from Germany I showed off before. But this one is the new Terror in the Fog Wallace Krimis. Fuck, man, this is like packed with shit. You got The Mad Executioners is what I've always wanted to see. The Monster of London City, I think, is the one. The Curse of the Yellow Snake. The Strangler of Blackmore Castle. And The Racetrack Murders. I think there's a bonus one as well. The Phantom of Soho. So yeah, I'm really super excited. I'm hoping Dirk will want to cover these at some point. That's the little shitty thing I bought on fucking Timo, the Tenebrae kind of, which is kind of, I dig it. And I got this shirt off there as well.
Let me see.
I was just saying.
Hold on,
that one. All the shirt. So I got Killer Claims.
Yeah. Let me see the cup.
Oh, right, okay. It's actually kind of well done. I know it's like different images, the same image kind of rotating, but
yeah,
it's actually well done. Dirk, I showed this a minute ago.
I
want you to hopefully we can cover them. The Wallace Krimis.
Okay. Who put that out?
That was I want to see Eureka.
Eureka?
Yeah. The Masters of Cinema series. I think it's Eureka. I did just show as well. But I got these 2 in from Arrow as well. I presume you're going to get them, yeah?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not gonna upgrade?
No, I'm good with the blues, man. What are you talking about? Like, I don't got to buy everything on 4K.
No, I mean, I'm stupid. I said I'm stupid. I got this in book.
Okay.
Eugenio Ercole.
Cool. Darting in the Italian screen too.
Yeah, Short Night, The Glass Dolls. Aldo Lado was interviewed in this.
Ercolani. Cool.
Yeah. He's fucking superb. The book, The Two Truths. So this is kind of some guys. He's pretty much Perfect Blue and Opera, and he's talking about all the similarities between the 2 films.
Oh,
so there's that. I haven't got much more. I got a few more things. Got the latest edition of Dark Side magazine, and there's an interview. It's a Suspiria cover.
Hell yeah.
Interview with Jessica Park. Not Jessica Parker, Jessica Harper. Yeah. And I got the last 2 issues of that. And these are good because they've always got something like Giallo-esque or whatever, hammer-wise. Last two things, I got Television Terrors, like a book from Dark Side. They do these books as well, and I've actually been digging into that, and I love it. British horror films they did one on as well, so
Okay.
these are really good quality. But yeah, because I don't do updates, and I know I just thought I'd fit one in at the end as a bit of an extra for people. And let us know, yeah, if you've got any of them or.
And here's the only thing I got in. Well, actually, so
show some stuff, man. We got time if you want.
No. I got a bunch of stuff I'm gonna. I've been selling a lot of shit on Whatnot, so I meant to put that on here. I think I might have it in the channel description now. Like if you go to the channel, but it's
okay, yeah.
If anybody's on Whatnot, I mean, if y'all are interested, I don't know, but I am selling some stuff on Whatnot. And the name of the channel on Whatnot is called Killer Bloody Deals. That's the name of my shit on there. So, but I did just get this in, and I don't know if it's still this cheap as when I got it, but it was on Amazon. So I got this, the blue with the 4K scan.
Yeah, you told me about that in the week, didn't you? Yeah.
So, hold on. I don't know if that helps.
I only recently saw that film.
That light blacked it out. Or anyway, I got the sec. Got this. I ended up getting this shit for like $10 on Amazon.
Oh man, it's a no-brainer, really.
It's the Blu-ray, but it's the 4K scan. So like, what the hell, you know?
That's gonna look amazing as well. Yeah. I've got the Blu-ray, but I've got the UK one.
I mean, I got other things, but I bought some movie lots that I'm gonna sell. Basically.
Yeah.
So there's really no point. It's not, a lot of it's not horror and shit. So
Dirk will probably end up doing a big like whole one anyway, when you're a big kind of update at some point. The updates are not really my thing. That's why I just show bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've shown most of everything that I have as far as like what I keep in the collection. But
right.
But yeah, there's a ton I have though. I have probably over 200 new titles that I'm selling.
I've got new stuff. I just cherry picked those that I showed. I
Right.
got fucking tons of new shit as well.
Let me catch the chat, man. I see the chat's going
Yeah.
off. Let me go back. I think I've marked it. Yeah, here we go. Chris says, my buddy had that system we used to watch films at his place, Event Horizon, and 5.1 is badass. Okay.
That's one of Chris's favorite films, I think.
I love Event Horizon, personally.
I've never seen that one. See?
Yeah, it's like Hellraiser in space, damn near. But Nicholas says VHS got cheap when Warner Brothers released Batman and made a ton of money.
Okay.
Makes sense. So that'd have been 89, 90 when that come out.
Right.
On VHS, probably might have been 90. But let's see. The Tenant is great. Part of the Apartment trilogy from the
Even
infamous.
I've heard it's great. I'm saying but I've not seen it. I have got that great edition.
The
so I can't wait
infamous
to dig into that.
Roman Polanski. But Texas says, Nick, I was working at a record store at that time, and I remember taking pre-orders for Batman and selling it for $15 when it came out. Oh shit.
Yeah, and that was probably a high amount at that time as well.
I like Dark Glasses quite a bit. It's fast-paced too. I remember Batman, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all hitting the shelves the same time as the rentals and being affordable. For some reason, I remember Gremlins, man. Like, I remember that Gremlins VHS tape big time. Like,
I was late to Gremlins. I didn't see Gremlins until like 2 years after it came out, and I recorded it off TV.
That was a big deal when it came out.
Oh, I loved that film when I was younger.
Let's see, Sell Through was the best. So it's kind of long, but worth a watch. Too Old to Die Young.
Okay, no, you heard that one.
I've heard of it. I'm trying to picture what it is. Deer Hunter. Nice shirt, Darren.
Oh, thanks, man. This was literally fucking cost me £3 UK off Temu, and I just took a risk on it. Well, you're not really risking a lot, are you, with £3?
It's like $5.
It's surprisingly good. It feels nice quality. So
Let's see. Nicholas says, like a lot of Refn stuff, it feels very informed by Italian cinema.
It is, man. Yeah, Neon
Okay,
Demon is
so that's
fucking
Refn.
great.
The
Nicholas Winding Refn, yeah.
yeah.
He was gonna do What Have You Done to Solange remake, but I've not heard anything for like 3 or 4 years.
Look at that stack. Yeah. Speaking of Soho, the Edgar Wright movie Last Night in Soho is a total love letter to Giallo, especially the more supernatural stuff.
That's one of my favorite kind of, it's not new, but kind of, you know, post 2020 films. I love that film. I know Dirk was kind of not great on it at one point, but
no, the thing with me is I loved it the first time. When I went back to
yeah, that's right. You went back, yeah.
On the rewatch, it dropped quite a bit for me. Well, I started seeing holes in it and shit.
Because of that one, I remember you saying that one scene. Yeah.
Let's see. Those look like some good books. We got Lauren, Visit by Voices says, hit the third case. Just hit Netflix. You too will love it. Okay.
Yeah.
The third case. Just hit Netflix. Okay, I got you. Hell yeah.
I'll write that down.
Did Dirk get Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell as well? No, I didn't. No.
He's probably a little bit more wiser with his money.
No, man, there's too many films I need. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't need Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell in 4K. That Blu-ray set's good enough for me. I don't know.
I mean, I got it because I like the commentaries with Felcher, so I got it mainly for that. But
yeah,
and I want to love those films. It's not, I don't know, I just don't. But I want to. Maybe this time it'll be different. I digged it. It's like Exorcist 2. I fucking dig it every time I see that. But who knows, one day.
And Synthetic says, hey guys, just dropping by, still working like a maniac to pay for Living Dead Weekend. Tune in to all my coverage, live and uploads if you can. Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all check out Synthetic. Y'all check out Visit by Voices Network too, man.
Absolutely. All these guys in the chat, you know, Texas Hardcore, 1965.
Right.
Chris, all the other channels too. All do great stuff, man.
Absolutely. Let's see. But yeah. Is there anything else you want to bring up, man?
No, I can think of, man.
Here?
No. Well, we just under 2.5 hours. So these just fly by for me. But after we did the first film, and I looked at the clock and it was like 50 odd minutes, I'm thinking, shit, I only thought it was like 20. I thought this was going to be a quick one, but it. Is that Howard Ross?
Yeah, that's Howard Ross. But yeah, man. Yeah. I guess we're gonna get up out of here.
The next week's show?
Yep. What's up?
Go for it. If you want to promote next week's show, go for it.
Yeah. We'll be back on next week.
Do you want to name the titles or?
No, we'll leave it a mystery.
Well, we'll give him that. It's going to be Fulci. We'll give you that anyway.
Right.
So, but yeah, it'll be a good one. Trust me.
It's about time we got some Fulci back in our lives, man. We had Argento just all over the place in here.
Well, there's one that I've never seen before, and I don't think Dirk has.
Right.
I mean, we can give it away. Fuck it, man. So you've got Murder Rock, which I love. I can't wait to do that one. Enigma, which I kind of like. It's a Suspiria type rip-off, but I do like it. And Door into Silence, which you've never seen. I've heard bad things about, but I don't know. I got a funny feeling I might like that one from what I've been reading up on it. So,
right.
Spoiler, but I'll give it away. Sorry.
Oh, you good?
Hopefully, people are tuning in.
Hopefully, people watch this long to find out. And if they didn't watch this long to find out, they probably didn't give a shit anyway.
It's probably too late to say this now because I planned to say it earlier. But anyone like watching who's not in the chat and just, well, do it for next week now because it's a bit late. Just say hi in the chat. Let us know that you're watching, even if you don't comment that much or anything.
Just do a thumbs up or something.
Yeah. We just like to know, you know, kind of like if be interactive a bit more and like, you know, put questions in and all that because we love talking to the people.
What's your favorite modern Giallo? You know,
Yeah, well, exactly. And give us, like, next week, we'll be talking about Fulci. So if you've got any questions about that or any favorites of Fulci, just let us know. But in the comments after this goes down, this video kind of gets recorded on YouTube. Just, people just fucking write in and because we'd like to know if people are watching.
Just give us some feedback. Let us know if we're
Yeah.
Good or bad. I don't give a shit. I got pretty thick
I know.
skin.
Constructive criticism's good anyway. I won't.
I don't care if you want to be shitty. That's cool too. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I mean,
but
at least we get a reaction, even if it is,
right. Yeah, but yeah, man, we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate everybody that was here and people watching in the future. And y'all have a good week coming up, and stay safe out there, I guess.
How going, guys?
Later, y'all.
You have fallen into the EuroCrypt. There is no escape from the EuroCrypt.
I might say so. That is very offensive.